Hello NFL fans, welcome to the NFLUKOPS, our first ever video log of our trip to London to watch the Buffalo Bills take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We had set off nice and early on the Saturday. We had plenty to do, starting off with a trip to watch take part in the NFL experience at Battersea Power Station.
Yeah, it was really, really nice actually. As soon as we got on the tube, there was a guy there with a Panthers jersey on, and he saw I had my Patriots cap on, and he was like, "All right, mate, how's it going?" It was really friendly and nice. It was a good feeling.
I had to quickly point out, mind you, that it was actually a guy wearing a Jacksonville Jaguars jersey, and he's always making that mistake.
I can see how this video is going to go. Anyway, we managed to negotiate our way through the London Underground. After about 3 different changes, we ended up at Battersea Power Station. So this is the first time I've ever seen an American football game live, and when we got to Battersea Power Station, I was blown away by it. It was so amazing to see, and inside I thought it'd be really industrial, but it's not. They've got like this really posh shopping mall inside. It's the kind of place where the shops have got like 3 t-shirts and 4 sales assistants. It is a bit posh, but it looked amazing. We had to wander around looking for people with jerseys to try and find out where we were going. So when we did finally find the NFL section by following everybody else with the shirts, there was loads going on. There was people everywhere. First place we went to was kind of like a stage area where they seemed to have loads and loads of presenters. All the Sky Sports presenters were there. I recognised Hannah. She had a massive big suit on. And Neil was there as well. And J-Bell was there. And then they introduced these other people who I didn't know. They're mostly Americans. I have no idea who they were. Who were they, Tom?
Well, obviously J-Bell doesn't go anywhere without OC. You know, they are a prime double act. It still hurts to see OC broke my Patriots' heart twice in the Super Bowl. And then another player that broke my heart not too long ago, Jay Ajayi, was there as well for the Eagles, who used to play for the Eagles.
Is he the English bloke?
Yeah. And then there was Ndamukong Suh, who actually last week got offered to come back and out of retirement to play in the NFL, so look out for that later in the season. There's a few female presenters from America we've seen on the TV screens: Colleen Wolfe, Kay Adams, and MJ Acosta Ruiz as well. I think they were more about promoting sort of their own shows than actually giving their insights into the NFL. That was what I sort of took from that.
What I took from it, it was like they were after an easy win with the crowd. It's like, where are those Bills fans? Where's the Bills Mafia? Anything to get a cheer. It's like when you go and see Bon Jovi in concert and the support band goes, "Are you ready to see Bon Jovi? Yeah!" And it's like, yeah, we'll clap anything. Every time you mention the name Bills, we'll just clap. And it just seemed a bit, I don't know, contrived. I don't know. They're trying to work the crowd, I suppose. I'm being a bit harsh.
But obviously, Neil managed to get his stats in there. You know, it was quite funny. I think someone stole a stat off him. What was it? It was something to do with the weather, wasn't it?
Yeah, they said it was minus 15 degrees or something. He went, I knew it was snowing.
He had to get that one in there, didn't he?
So after the presenters had gone off, we decided to have a wander around, and the first thing I wanted to look at were these 32 helmets. I'd seen pictures of these 32 helmets, and I thought that each one was like the size of a small house. I was a bit disappointed. As you can see from the pictures, they're not quite the size of a small house. But I suppose it's still quite impressive, though.
Yeah, don't forget the 33 helmets, because there was the special edition London Games one.
Yeah, I'll try and put the London Games one in the middle. If you notice from the pictures, we made the mistake of taking the pictures from the front of the helmets. It's because it was quite busy, and like Tom was having to kick little kids off the helmets, like, get off. You don't even know who the Vikings are. It's not a climbing frame. So by the time we cleared the helmet and taken the picture, it was all a bit rushed. We should have taken them all from the side like we've done with that London one. Because as you can see, when we take the pictures from the front, it's hard to tell what the helmet is, you know. But, you know, you live and learn.
Well, we had to actually queue for the main event, which was the Bills helmet at the end. But we timed it about right, because then the mascot came, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Tom got his picture taken with the mascot. And I said that we'd get loads more views if he, instead of shaking the mascot's hand, if he kicked him in the nuts and said, "Go Pats." But he wouldn't do it. And to be honest, when I suggested it to him, a couple of people in the queue got a bit shirty, and I thought they were going to all kick off. I was only joking. I really was only joking. I promise. Go Bills.
But we had this grand scheme of an idea of a challenge we were going to set ourselves over the weekend to try and get a fan from each NFL team to say NFL UK Ops rocks. So that all began on the dock, actually, didn't it?
Oh, it was a nightmare. We were taking pictures of the Viking helmet. Well, Viking helmet makes it sound like it's got horns coming out of it. You know what we mean, the Viking football helmet. And this really nice lady said, excuse me, could you take a picture for me, please? So she gives Tom her phone, and I think this is the perfect opportunity for us to get our first NFL rocks, NFL UK Ops rocks in. So I said, oh yeah, would you do us a favour? What we want you to do is say you're a Vikings fan from, where are you from? And then I interrogated her for about 5 minutes about where she was from, because she had a European accent, and she didn't want to tell me where she was from, but I persevered, despite the fact she was looking more and more scared by the second. So we videoed her doing it, didn't we? But then afterwards, we just felt sort of like we'd really taken advantage of this woman. So we just deleted it because we just felt too creepy. I think the problem was we just have phones and we video it on our phone. So next year we're going to take Eric with a massive camera. So we at least then when we look legit, when we go up to strange women, say, "Excuse me, can I video you saying this, please?" That's it. Shout louder. Even now, I still feel creepy. I feel like I need to have a shower just watching it. And I apologise to that lady if you're watching.
And where was she from?
Originally, she said London. Then she said North Europe, Germany. I finally managed to get her down to North Berlin. And thinking back now, she might have been a spy or something. It was just a bad idea. Honestly, we deleted the whole video. Don't come after us. We deleted the whole video. So anyway, after that, we thought we'd better scale this down a bit because there's no way we're going to have the guts. And we didn't have enough beer to go up to all the people going, "Hi, where are you from?" That was the plan.
But the beer sold out.
Oh yeah, this is another problem we had. The beer sold out. It was about 2:30, and every single draft pump at the bar sold out. There was still a massive queue. People were buying tiny little cans for about £8 each. We weren't having any of that. So we're far too sober to go up to complete strangers and go, "Hey, where are you from?" So we thought we'd scale it down a bit. So we thought we'd just take photographs with lots of people with jerseys. But Tom didn't want to actually speak to anybody. So that's why if you look at our other video, it's really quite stalky. We've gone all creepy again. It's really stalky. Tom just sneaks up behind people and points at them. And I take pictures pretending to take a selfie. Oh, God, it's cringeworthy.
But we did it.
We did it. Woo!
We managed to get them all in the end. We did have to cheat a little bit. We did have to take it on to day 2. We didn't manage to get them all at the Battersea Power Station NFL event. But make sure you check out that other video. I'm sure we can maybe do a speeded up version for this one.
Yeah, I can do a speeded up version. And I've cut the bit where the police come and tell us to stop taking photographs of unsuspecting people. So that saved a lot of time.
I think they must have been tipped off by that woman.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't the police. Maybe it was some kind of I don't know, secret police. I don't want to think about it.
So after we'd been on the dock and interrogated a woman, we decided to go and have a look at what events were on at the NFL Experience. So we had the broad jump. So like the event that takes place at the Combine where you have to sort of standing jump as far as you possibly can. So we watched a guy that did pretty decent actually, didn't he?
Yeah, what's the advantage of that as an American football player to be able to do that?
I think it's power, it's explosion, isn't it?
Oh, to get off the line.
Yeah, to get
quickly.
off the line, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, the guy was very good at it. He waved his arms around a lot.
So then next to that there was the vertical jump, which everyone seemed to find really easy.
Everybody was really good at this. I've seen clips of people doing this on NFL, and they never reached the top. And everybody was smashing the top. I reckon it must have been a very low bar.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't do it, so we can't really say that. But that was the impression I got.
You felt that the bar wasn't high enough, or they couldn't push it up any further. But everyone seemed to hit the top red bit, didn't they? Yeah,
I'm sure they could have pushed it up further. Maybe it was just an ego boost for people. I don't know. Fair play.
So in the middle, there was the wide receiver drill. So you had to sort of run a route, a deep in route. and then the ball was getting fired out at you.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with this. I expected them to have like Josh Allen throwing the ball for people to catch, and it was one of those stupid machines. And then it got even worse towards the end of the afternoon. It was just some rando throwing it underarm for people. It was a bit disappointing, that bit.
I think it all went crazy at the end because all of a sudden there was 3 or 4 people running routes at the same time. I think it just all went, a bit crazy.
It all went pear-shaped once the beer ran out. Let's face it.
So then over to one of the sides, there was the throwing drill, the quarterback drill, which the queue was huge for. It's not surprising because you did actually get to throw 12 balls. It's no wonder the queue took so long.
Yeah, 12 balls seems a bit exciting. I mean, it did look good. There was cardboard cutouts that you had to throw past to get to targets and stuff. Nobody seemed to be smashing it either, did they? They all were throwing it really wimpily up in the air rather than like proper telegraphing it. But again, I didn't do it, so I can't really criticise. But the queue was massive. I would have liked to seen Tom do that, actually. Of all of them, that was the one that I wanted Tom to do the most, actually.
And then finally, there was the kicking drill, which, again, I would have fancied having a go at that one.
We were really tempted by this one. When I say we were really tempted to get Tom to have a go at this. But then we noticed that the 6-year-old at the front of the queue just smashed it 3 times. Bosh, bosh, bosh. So I don't think the difficulty level was that high. I just feel like I'm criticising their games when I didn't even have a go, which is out of order. But I just think they just seemed very simple. Maybe they were aiming at kids.
It was funny because
English guys.
It was funny because that young lad did do it 3 times down the middle, but the guy, there's an older guy after. They hit it wide right, hit it wide left, and then got it down the middle.
To be fair, the 6-year-old who smashed it came with his soccer boots on. He was proper prepared. He knew exactly what he was doing. But it wasn't exactly a massive field goal. You can see from the video, the bar again was not that high. But to be fair to the kid, he did smash it and he got a massive round of applause. So, fair play to him.
And then for those people who didn't want to queue for absolutely ages to take part in one of those, they had the big sofa set out for the Madden NFL 24.
Yeah, I don't know about the queue. I don't know what the queue for that like. But whenever I looked at it, that guy in the Jackson shirt, the one we took a picture of for the Ravens, he was on there all the time. I reckon he was just really good at it, and maybe it was winner stays on or something. I don't know, but he always seemed to be there.
So it was good. It was good events for people. It's just obviously the queue was so big. So to actually get a go, you're probably having to give up at least an hour to get to the front of the queue. Which
is just the same when you go to a theme park or anything, isn't it, really? You've got a queue if you want to play, and we're just miserable sods who didn't have enough beer inside us, I think.
Agreed.
So once we'd been around all the different games and stuff, we did about 4 times past all the helmets, which is a one-way thing where you had to climb onto a pier and walk up the side of the Thames. We did 4 passes trying to get the right colour shirts and stuff to win the Stokey game. But we were still missing 9 by the end of the day, I think, weren't we? Was it 9?
It was 9.
It was 9, and one of them was a Jags shirt, which is a bit bizarre. Maybe it's because I thought it was a Panthers shirt. I don't know. But after that, we thought, right, okay, what we're going to do? And to go back to our hotel was it was probably an hour on the tube, so we thought we might as well eat and drink in central London and then stagger back to the hotel. That was the plan. But it's expensive in London. Oh, we did. When we realised that the beer had run out at the NFL thing, we did spend probably about half an hour looking for a pub, and we did eventually find a pub. And I'll put a picture on because it was so dark. It was like the Cantina in Mos Eisley. It was tiny, and also the conversation was crap because Tom was just on Twitter the whole time, posting about what he'd just been doing.
So that was the Battersea Brewery, wasn't it?
Battersea Brewery, yeah. It was. Was it? Did it have lots of IPAs?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it had a nice selection. Yeah,
it was busy, but it was just dark. I think I'm old. I think that's what it must be.
It's quite fairly priced actually in there as well.
Fairly priced for London, that is. God, I sound miserable. Yeah, then we thought we'd have a night on the town. So we're in London. We can do anything. Where shall we go? Leicester Square? No. Let's find the nearest Witherspoons, which for the American audience is basically, it's like a cheap pub chain in the whole of England where you get cheap drinks everywhere. Oh, I'm not explaining it very well. You explain it.
Basically, any drink that you want, alcoholic drink, they've got it at a very reasonable price. And also, it means that you can get your meal for £5 as well.
Yeah, it's like the Motel 6 of pubs. And we were in London, we could have done anything, but to be fair, we were on a bit of a tight budget. So Witherspoons it was. And don't get me wrong, I love a Witherspoons.
So if you want to help us out with that, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We also have a join button just below, and you can become a member of the NFL UK Ops community. We also take super thanks as well. So any donations we do receive can go towards a better experience for us next year.
Do you see the way he sneakily stuck an advert in the middle of the vlog? Outrageous. Anyway, so we stayed in Witherspoons all night, and then got the tube back to the hotel. And the hotel had a bar that was open till 3 a.m. And we thought, what a result. Let's get in the bar and have a few drinks in the bar. Right. When I was thinking bar, I was thinking like a cool midnight bar, maybe a piano player, something like that. It looked more like a Costco canteen. We were sat on 2 plastic chairs facing each other at a table. But they did have Corona on draft as a plus point.
And cans of punk as well.
Oh, cans of punk IPA, which makes Tom's hilarious speech. And then, because like I said, we were on a budget, we had to share a double bed like Bert and Ernie from the Muppets. That would be if Bert was spread like a starfish on the bed, snoring his head off because he's had so much punk IPA, and Ernie was holding on to the side of the bed for dear life, keep going to the toilet every 2 seconds because he's had too much Pepsi Max. What a lovely picture for you there. Hey? Moving on, day 2.
So day 2, we got off to a start with a cooked breakfast at Morrison's.
That's a supermarket, by the way.
And yeah, it was all right, wasn't it?
Hey, I rate the full English breakfast at Morrison's. You can't go wrong. I gave Tom my mushroom, but apart from that, I was happy with what I got.
And then we headed down to the get on a train, which we weren't too far away, were we? It's only a couple of stops away from the Tottenham White Hart Lane stop.
Yeah. Again, as well, you could see people in jerseys. The excitement was building. I was getting really excited.
Especially excited because I think very early on we spotted 2 or 3 jerseys on the train that we were on that we needed.
It was a nightmare. Just imagine we're stood up in one train and you look down and you see in the next carriage that there's somebody with a Browns top on, and we know we need to get him. So we have to time it right. When we get off the platform, we need to get Tom to saunter up to him, and I need to take a cheeky selfie with him pointing at him.
But we actually managed to tick quite a few off there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And so getting off the train and following everybody down to the stadium, and it looked amazing once it obviously came into view as we came around that corner, and it was just absolutely packed with fans, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was like the massive Tottenham Stadium in the background, and then the blue Portaloos in the foreground. It was a really nice picture.
And at that point, we thought, well, while we're in the mood for getting these last jerseys, and we were determined to get them, we started walking up and down the main road, didn't we?
We did. We walked up and down the same main road about 3 or 4 times. I needed to sit down after that, and we were still short. But then we saw the queue for the NFL shop, and we knew that was where we were going to find all the jerseys we needed, even if we had to get some rando to put it on. That isn't what we did, honestly.
And then I think it was the last 3 jerseys. They were the Texans, the Colts, and of course the Falcons. Was the last ones we needed. We managed to get the Texans just before getting in the queue, and then just walking into the shop, we got the Colts, and then we'd seen
the Falcons guy, and it really was like, where's Wally? Because the NFL shop was absolutely rammed. Actually, while we're here, tell them about the NFL shop, because you were well excited about that, weren't you? There was like signed Tom Brady shirts and stuff.
Yeah, they had some amazing stuff in there. Like, if you had all the money in the world, if I had all the money in the world, I would have spent a lot of money in that shop.
If you want to press that subscribe button, no, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that's my job. They had jerseys, and jackets, and balls, and
how much was that Josh Allen one though?
Oh, so they had some signed memorabilia, didn't they? So they had Josh Allen, they had Stephon Diggs. For Josh Allen's signed jersey, I think it was £730. I think Stephon Diggs, I think, was about 500. Then they had the Tom Brady jersey, didn't they? Patriots jersey, which didn't have a figure on it for some reason.
It was weird. It was in like a sort of a glass cabinet with no price on it, but there was a hole in the glass cabinet where you could put your finger through to touch it. Now, it's just the same as any other jersey, so why you'd have to touch it, I don't know. But if I was paying thousands of pounds for a Tom Brady signed shirt, I wouldn't want one spot on my jersey wherever you put the greasy little fingers through to touch the Tom Brady signed jersey. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
So while we were obviously in there, our main goal, as well as enjoying seeing all the memorabilia and things in there, was to find this Falcons jersey. We knew it was in there somewhere. We'd seen a guy go in from the front of the queue. But it was Where's Wally, wasn't it? It
was crazy. And then when we did find him, I was this close to saying, do you think you could shout out NFLUKOPS rocks? But to be fair, he's smiling in the picture, but he did look nervous. Like, who are these weird guys that are coming to take pictures of me? We definitely need a big camera for next year so we can look much more legit, because people were just terrified of us.
I mean, because when we were on the previous day when we were on the docks, and there was people that were wearing the lanyards and had these big, massive cameras, and people seemed to be drawn to them, didn't they? Because they wanted to be seen. But we didn't have that. We pulled out a mobile phone and said, "Can I have a picture with you?"
I felt like saying, "Look, we've got 20,000 viewers, 20,000 subscribers on Twitter. Honestly, we are legit. Believe it." But to be fair, I didn't talk to Falcons man much. He looked too nervous. I thought, I'm not going to push it. And I was still psychologically scarred from the Berlin spy from the day before. So we just took the picture and moved on. At least he's smiling in the picture. So that's something.
So we wanted to experience an NFL game in real style and get as close to the NFL experience as we possibly could. So we want to take part in some tailgating. And the best opportunity for that was in the fan zone just outside of the stadium.
Yeah, I don't think they have a legitimate car park. So you can't get any proper tailgating with people with pickups and barbecue and stuff like that, and loads of beer and tables to smash into. But yeah, it was almost like a mini version of the day before, really, wasn't it? Like an events thing. But there was loads of sort of street food there.
I think the most disappointing thing again was that there was no alcohol. There was no alcohol, no beers or anything being served inside there.
No, it was weird.
So inside the fan zone, they had music going on, didn't they? And they had people, obviously hired dancers and things like that. The DJ was pretty cool. He came out and did some break dancing and got one of the crowd members having a dance off, didn't he?
Quite an old guy as well. I think he was about 45, and he was doing some serious break dancing, like one-handed flips and all sorts of stuff. It's quite impressive.
So, and then to the other side, there was the games wasn't where fans could take part to throwing beanbags
into all, and there was some woman would paint your face. You could paint the colours of your team on your face. The thing that wound me up the most about this thing, though, is we chased up and down that bloody street and all around the NFL shop for all those pictures, and I was just sat down having a Diet Coke, and there's people walking in front of me with Falcons jerseys on and Texans jerseys. It's like, what's going on? We couldn't see them anywhere, and all of a sudden now we don't need them. They were all over us. It was just frustrating.
It was red hot as well, wasn't it? We couldn't have asked for better weather at the weekend.
Perfect.
It was
it was like 25 degrees, which is pretty good for England.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah.
And then just before we went into the stadium, we were just about to leave the fan zone, weren't we? But then the Jaguars cheerleaders came in, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, you got a video of that. That'll be on there somewhere. Yeah, I'll definitely put the videos of the Jaguars cheerleaders.
It was getting closer towards kickoff, and we knew we wanted to go and see what was inside the stadium.
So that was it. We had to find... What number were we?
23.
It was 23. Gate number 23 was the most elusive gate we've ever seen. We could see signs for gates 11 to 22, but then this gate 23 was nowhere to be seen. It was just bizarre. So that passed on a good 15 minutes looking for gate 23. So then we went in the stadium, and it was really exciting. We didn't have that much of a queue, actually, to get in. It was okay, and security was pretty light, wasn't it, really? You just walked straight through.
There's that massive group of was it a team? It was a college team, wasn't it? That had come over from America.
Oh yeah, because they were on the jumbo cam as well, weren't they? Yeah, they were they just behind us? But we just sailed straight through. It was all right. But then we had to find our actual seats, and it's a big stadium. And it told us what gate to go in, gate 23. But then after that, it all got a bit weird. So like, I'm going around asking people, how do we get to this bit? How do we get to this bit? And then I lose Tom for 20 minutes. He's gone. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to go to the Lost Children's desk and say, could Tom Wilson please come and get Andy from the Lost Children's desk? When he turns up, and it turns out that he'd been spending 20 minutes trying to work out how the beer comes into the bottom of the glass when you pull a pint.
It's something I've been looking forward to all this time. You know, in one of our previous videos, you know, it was mentioned there. I don't get how they do it, and having seen it myself, and now you guys can see it for yourself as well, I still have no idea how it works.
That's magic.
And the best thing of all, we didn't even have one of those beers.
No, because on our level, they didn't have a magic filler upper from the bottom. It was just standard Heineken for, what was it, £7.70 or something? Yeah. Standard Heineken for £7.70. Just tipped in, not magically filled up from the bottom, which is a bit disappointed.
So at least you knew what yours was. Mine was just called craft beer.
Yeah, I don't think IPA would fill up from the bottom anyway, would it? It would make a right mess.
No.
It tasted all right, actually, because when he said it was Heineken, I pulled a face. But it tasted all right.
But just the fact that you're allowed to take drinks out into the stadium is new to us, isn't it? Because at soccer stadiums, you can't do it.
We were talking about this on the live feed on Sunday, weren't we? Yeah, if you go and see a soccer game, the teams are separated. So you'll have Liverpool at one end and Man United at the other end. And there is no alcohol allowed at all. Because there was a load of hooligans that caused a lot of fights in the past and still do, I think, and it's just spoiled it for everybody.
So because unfortunately we were driving back on that day because of work and all that, we weren't able to take full advantage of the fact of taking drinks into the actual stands themselves. However,
that American girl next door but one to you was definitely taking full advantage. She must have asked us to stand up to get past us about 8 times, and every time she came past she had 4 beers, didn't she? She was hammered.
It was only 2 beers in and she lost which row she was on, didn't she?
Yeah, we could see her coming up the steps, so everybody in the whole row stood up because they were used to her going backwards and forwards, and she just walked right past us, oblivious. That must be nice. We're not bitter, honest.
So obviously, like, just walking out to view the stadium for the first time, it was amazing. It's the first time, obviously, we've ever been to, and it's a fairly new stadium, isn't it, as well,
yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So actually walking out and seeing it for the first time was amazing. I've got to hand it to Andy as well. He got amazing seats.
I was blown away by how good our seats were. We were basically just above where the cameraman sits. So there was 4 massive screens that we could look at if we wanted to. But to be honest, it was easier just to look down and see Josh just there throwing the ball. So for most of the game, I was just watching it straight, not looking at this. The only time I looked at the screen was when they had a timeout or a commercial break and the woman was talking at the side, or there was a jumbo cam on. But apart from that, it was brilliant. It was definitely worth the harrowing 3 hours on the phone trying to get the tickets.
And we never got pictured on the kiss cam though, did we?
No. We did say that if they put us on the kiss cam, we would go for it. But no, we didn't get. I didn't see anybody even anywhere near us on any of the cams. Actually, no. I think maybe because we were behind the cameraman, he couldn't spin round to get us. That's what I tell myself anyway. I don't know. There did seem to be regulars keep popping up. That blonde girl with the low cut top, she was on it a lot, wasn't she? Bizarre.
But then the game itself and the teams, when we walked out there were just the kickers and the punters were out there, long snappers, weren't they? But while we're obviously at the stadium and at the game, it's got to be said that it's probably 70% Bills fans. I've never seen it so one team heavy, especially for American teams coming over here.
It's a bit bizarre because the Jags had played the week before at Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium is the Jags' home stadium officially in England, and so the Tottenham Stadium is the Bills' home stadium
for this game.
Oh well, for this game, yeah. So we even had a guy before the game prompting us. When I say this, we want you to say whoa, whoa, Bills, let's go, or whatever, and teaching us all the chants and stuff. But everybody got really into it. The only thing I didn't like, they were booing. I don't like booing. I want it all to be all positive. I love the fact that in American football, you can have a beer and you can have a Bills fan sat next to a Jags fan, and they'll have a laugh together, regardless of who's winning. So I didn't like the booing, but apart from that, it was good.
I think they do that though. You know, in America, I think there's all that they always boo. Like
Is it
even
the
in the
pantomime
NBA,
thing?
yeah, in the NBA things, you know, when they're having the free throws and what have you. I think there's a lot of that goes on. So when the Jaguars team came out, obviously Trevor Lawrence out there as well. So they did take a bit of heckling, didn't they?
It was weird though because we were neutrals, so I was cheering everybody. You know, when Trevor Lawrence threw the touchdown, I was like, "Yay, go, well done!" And then Josh Allen handed off, and it was a good run. I was like, "Yay, go on!" I was cheering everybody. It was all good.
But we were sat next to some Americans, weren't we? And Buffalo Bills fans. And being a Patriots fan myself, I did have to say to him that I was supporting the Jaguars, Jaguars in the game.
I think he waited until about the last 2 minutes to tell him that, though. Funny that.
So it's time for the teams to come out ahead of the kickoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome head coach Doug Peterson and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And now, please welcome head coach Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills.
And then we end up with a coin toss as the Bills won and deferred. And we got treated to the national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, and God Save the King. Got that right? I usually say God Save the
I
Queen.
know, I'm sure when he first started it, whoever was singing it said God Save the Queen. But then I was listening for the second line and he definitely said King the second time. So we'll let him.
So the Jags had a great first quarter. They took the lead after Trevor Lawrence pass. It was excellent caught in the end zone, and they went for 2 points as well, which was
That was
interesting.
weird. Why would you do that? It just didn't make any sense.
But they were successful.
Yeah.
So took the 8-0 lead, and the Bills just couldn't get anything going on offense. Really, it was strange to see with such talent that they've got.
And the home team cheering them on. Woo, go Bills!
And then the Jags ended up going and kicking a field goal, taking 11-0 lead, and it was just all one-way traffic.
I liked that. I liked it when they did the punts and the field goals. You could follow the ball really well, and that was cool. Much better than watching the telly.
And it wasn't until right before half-time where the Bills actually finally got something going. And, of course, who else was it going to be other than Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs?
Surprise, surprise.
And there's still actually just enough time for the Jaguars to go down the field, work their way into the red zone, and then Trevor Lawrence fumbled, not for the first time, spoilers, in the game as well.
See, I don't remember. It's all a blur to me. And I wasn't even drinking that much.
So that took us into half-time. That took us into half-time with the 11-7 scoreline.
Half-time I do remember, because I remember feeling robbed. Because who was playing half-time the week before?
It was Tom Grennan.
Tom Grennan, who's supposed to be a really good musician. So I thought, I wonder who we're going to get. I wonder if Ed Sheeran's in town. But no, we got some flag football. In fact, they didn't even take up the whole pitch. It's not like you could even watch the flag football properly. It was like some lads messing around in one half playing flag football, and then they were playing music dead loud as well, weren't they? It was like they realised the flag football wasn't entertaining, so they were just playing music. Weird.
Well, I'm talking on music. They did that interesting vote, didn't they? Where they had 4 songs up, and then they were going to do a karaoke sort of situation where everyone could sing.
Yeah, and thank God that Don't Look Back in Anger won, because it was quite cool to have the whole stadium singing Don't Look Back in Anger. Dancing Queen nearly won, and I like ABBA, but of all ABBA's songs, Dancing Queen is probably one of the crappiest. And I don't know, Don't Look Back in Anger was definitely the right choice. The other thing was Hey Jude by the Beatles. Again, I like the Beatles, but Hey Jude is not one of my favourites. What was the fourth one? Can you remember what the fourth one was? No, I definitely, if I'd have voted, I would have voted for Don't Look Back in Anger. Did you have to do it on your phone? So? Yeah, I didn't vote. I was just glad when Don't Look Back in Anger. Yeah, it sounded wicked. We should have videoed that. That was cool.
So, coming out of half time, I mean, we sort of wanted the Jags to get up, didn't we, in the first half? Because we were hoping, as a neutral, and for the betterment of the game, wanted the Jaguars to get up fairly big and when we'll try and watch the Bills come back.
Let's be honest, we thought the Bills were going to absolutely smash him. So we wanted the Jags to get a bit of a lead and then watch Josh Allen come back and win. That's what I was expecting to see, and I wouldn't say I was hoping for it. As long as we got a close this game, I wasn't really bothered, but that was what I was expecting to see. But that's not what we got, is it?
It's not, and the third quarter was pretty quiet, actually.
Like I say, it's all a blur to me.
But a player that definitely stood out in the game, Travis Etienne.
Yeah, he was cool.
For the running back for the Jags. Extended the lead in the fourth quarter with a touchdown run, which took him to an 18-7 lead at that point. And I started talking to the Bills fan next to me saying, do you think with 7.5 minutes left, do you think the Bills come back from 11 points down?
The thing is, with Josh Allen, you think, well, it is possible, you know. If it was Mac, you'd think, oh well, forget it. No chance. No chance.
We've seen Mac Jones not being able to do that a few times now, haven't we? But the Bills weren't done. They worked the ball down the field very, very quickly, actually.
It was about 2 seconds, wasn't it? It was just like chuck, 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 chuck.
And so Josh Allen completed the pass to Gabriel Davis. They went for 2, which would have been a big 2 points as well, but didn't make it. So it looked like at that point it was over. But then obviously the Jags drove down the field, and all of a sudden, again, Etienne broke a massive run, and instead of sliding down to potentially end the game, ran it in for a touchdown. Fair enough, he's probably got bonuses that he's playing for. But scored the touchdown and gave the Bills a chance to get the ball again, down 2 scores. So then the Bills somehow worked the ball down the field in double quick time this time.
Oh yeah, I think that was what I was thinking of. They did it incredibly quick. It was a massive throw, that first one.
Yeah, so they got down the field within 2 minutes, I think. And Josh Allen ran the ball in, and they still had enough time to stop the Jags and get the ball back with 20 seconds left.
And you're thinking, oh my God, they're going to do it, they're going to do it.
And they've got just 5 points down at that point. But having to go, 90 yards they needed to go with no timeouts. And then they tried to create something special off the first one. It was a short pass, wasn't it, to Stephon Diggs, who then tried to lateral it, and the ball came out, and that was it.
Yeah, bit disappointing really. I wanted him to go back and do it at the end. That was very exciting. I got caught up in the moment.
And then
But it was a good game.
It was a great game, and for it to finish as close as it did, it was a spectacle for the neutral, and we really enjoyed it.
I can't believe how amazing it is to see live. When they were talking about the Ravens coming back next week, I thought, oh my God, I want tickets to that now. It's just so much better to see it live. Obviously the tickets that we got were amazing, but to see it live is just brilliant.
No, we'd highly recommend it. If anybody that is an NFL fan or just getting into the NFL, you need to go and check a game out. In London next year for sure. And they're only extending it as well, aren't they? Because there's 2 Germany games coming up. The Patriots being one of them.
Oh my! To be honest, right? I know I should say I want to see the Patriots game. If I was going to Germany, I'd want to go and see the Chiefs versus the Dolphins. That is going to be a proper game. That'd be amazing. So if you want to press that subscribe button a lot, then we'll do another live vlog from Germany. How good would that be?
Exactly. If we could just get 10,000 of you to click subscribe and the join button.
Keep pressing them buttons and make sure you watch all the adverts, even if it's that boring 3-minute one about the hotels. Cheers.
That's it. And you said it was me that was doing all the selling in this video.
Yeah, I know.
Game finished 25-20 to the Jaguars in the end, and and that at that point we left the stadium, and we thought, well, we've got some more football to look forward to. We've got the Patriots. They've had a couple of hard games, and now they're going to be playing against the Saints, and everything was going to turn around.
This is what you call the low point of the weekend. Imagine me and Tom sat in his car in the corner of a dark car park in London, just watching the Patriots game on his phone. I gave up after about 10 minutes and just went to sleep in the passenger seat, waiting for him to take me to McDonald's. It was horrible. It was depressing. Mac Jones is an idiot. Bill Belichick should be sacked. I wasn't happy. I just wanted to go home, and all I could see was them losing by more and more against the Saints. It was just crazy, depressing.
I mean, it was hard enough for us, which we obviously do live streams of the games. Just had to do the Patriots-Cowboys game the week before where the Patriots lost 38-3. That would have been a tough watch, wouldn't it? Doing a live stream
Thank
of that.
God Tom didn't have to do the live stream of that one.
34-0 it finished in the end.
And then we had a 3-hour drive back home. You can imagine how cheery that was.
And ready for work the next day.
Yay, happy. Finish the vlog on a high note. McDonald's was all right. The chips were warm. Nice. Okay, so enough of the whinging. That's the end of the vlog. Thanks very much for listening. I hope you like this sort of Beavis and Butthead type commentary, because we're going to be doing lots more of it. No, I don't know. Let's see how many views we get. If we get some likes and some views, we are considering doing a news show every week where we discuss all the NFL events of the week. But let us know in the comments if you think that's a good idea. But just to finish on a high, it was amazing. I had a fantastic day on the Saturday, and the game just blew my mind. It really, really was fantastic. Tom, anything to add?
Yeah, thank you very much for everyone that has watched and everybody that has subscribed to the channel already. We'd love to do more vlogs like this, so as Andy said, if you did enjoy it, please hit that subscribe button. Come and join us on a Sunday and watch some Maker football with us. All football fans are welcome, so we hope to see you there.
Yeah, thanks a lot. See you Sunday.